Tuthmosis Force 2, number 43. Theodore Davis and Howard Carter, his assistant, found this tomb in 1903. It has 3 axes, all of which are nearly at right angles to one another. Only 2 18th dynasty kings Tuthmosis IV and Amenhotep III followed this design. Amenhotep III, on the other hand, picked a different location, which is called the Western Valley of the Kings or the Valley of the Monkeys Cemetery, and his tomb was carved there. He was the only king in this valley with King I, the owner of tomb number 23. A descending staircase leads from the tomb's entrance to a vestibule, which is followed by a rectangular room with a floor that resembles a staircase and leads to a corridor that goes to the well room. Here, it is important to notice the vibrant scenes that depict the monarch in his many relationships with the gods at the top of the well room's walls. 6 scenes depicting the king in front of Osiris, Anubis, and Hathor may be seen on the left side. In an unfinished scene, the god Anubis is also depicted. These images may be significant because they represent the first shift from the outer line drawing technique used in the tombs of Tuthmosis III and Amenhotep II to the full coloring technique, which was eventually used in Ramesses I's tomb. Now, after passing by the covered well room, we come to a room with 2 pillars that is empty of inscriptions and is thought to mark the beginning of the second axis and the end of the first. There is a staircase leading down to a corridor in its northern corner, which leads to another stairway leading down to a room where the second axis ends and the third axis also begins. It is important to take note of the vibrant scenes and texts painted on its walls. For example, on the northern, left, wall we find the king with each of the gods Osiris, Anubis, and Hathor, and on the southern, right, wall there is graffiti in hieratic script dating back to the reign of King Horemheb. King Horemheb gave orders to the person in charge of the cemetery's operations, Laya, and his assistant, Tuthmosis, to rebury the burial of King Maqbura, Tuthmosis IV, in the sacred residence on the western mainland. As I previously mentioned, this mummy was moved along with other mummies to the tomb of Amenhotep II. This could mean that Horemheb ordered the mummy to be reburied following the king's death, at which point the tomb was opened. In the same room, we also find scenes depicting the king standing before the deity Osiris after receiving the sign of life, or egg, from the gods Anubis and Hathor on the eastern wall, against the stairs. Next, we arrive at the burial chamber, which has a roof supported by 6 pillars arranged in 2 rows. A stairway goes from the last 2 pillars to a pit that holds the red granite sarcophagus with engravings on it. 4 small rooms also open into the burial chamber, 2 on each side, but the burial chamber remains unfinished. The Egyptian Museum has the funerary furnishings that were discovered in this tomb on display.